should we start talking about Drake? We have some Drake topics to get to.
Yeah.
I saw that Ebro said that he was upset at the fact that Drake dissed Childish Gambino on his tour. Remember when he put up that?
That was really pussy. That was very pussy. Drake does shit like that all the time, though.
Yeah, he put up this little, I don't even know what to call it. Like the words.
It was
were
a
like,
banner. It was like a banner.
Yeah.
It was like some kind of like e-banner, like electric banner that like scrolled across, and it was like he was basically like, "This is America." It was like overrated, over awarded, and it was originally a Drake diss.
Right. And he was upset about that because he was like, "Why are you going after that song, that artist? Where that song obviously like that was like for Black culture." You know what I mean? Like he was speaking to something. It was a political message in there. And he was like, well, Drake, you never speak on Black issues. Like you're never speaking on Black issues, which is true. So it was an interesting mind frame. What did you think about that?
Well, listen, the dude who gets exposed for wearing blackface, it's the last person I expect to talk about Black issues.
This is true.
He may not openly be cooning like a Kanye, but he's probably very much in that same kind of time. He's just quiet about it. Some people just quiet about it. Like,
but my thing is like, because I see your point. That's a good point. But he was like, what, 19, 20 when he did that? Maybe even younger?
I don't care how old you were. I'm not gonna, if you change
people grow and people evolve. That's what I'm trying to set up.
Like, that's cool, right? I'm like, people grow and evolve, right? But people gonna comment on it. You can't stop people from commenting on it. You can't stop people from at least trying to get you to address it.
You could comment on it, yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop
I just don't know if that argument fits 2023. You know what I mean? But then again, you can, because like Ebro said, the guy doesn't speak about Black issues ever.
Yeah, have we seen a legacy of the behavior changing? Or maybe not necessarily behavior, because that's something that just came out. It's not like, he's openly cooning, but like I haven't seen any evidence to suggest otherwise, honestly.
Yeah. I just think, because I always hold this this belief that like as an artist, I don't think or maybe not even as an artist, just like as a famous person, I don't think you necessarily always have to be in the media making like vocalizing your political feelings. You know what I mean? And like championing certain agendas, championing certain legislation and whatnot. Speaking on Black issues, I don't think that that's necessary. I don't think that's their place necessarily.
He is the pop artist. I mean, I tell people, like, people who forget how big Drake is. We have a homie. He's like, you know how like you have LeBron haters, like anti-Bron sexuals? Because you have Bron sexuals who are like obsessed, and then you have dudes who are just like
the antithesis.
They like they low-key fans too, but they're the antithesis. They're low because they're obsessed, but they just troll and hate. But they're like low-key fans too, because they're like still obsessed with another person. I feel like he's like that version. I don't know about him being that serious about hating Drake, but he's a pretty big Drake hater. He's a pretty big Drake hater. I don't even know where I was going with this. I'm sorry.
I don't know. You were talking about our friend. I don't want to drop his name.
I don't even know how. Oh yeah,
talking about people hating.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Yeah, I'm like, but like, and, he downplays how big Drake is. He downplays how successful Drake is. He downplays his legacy. Like I went to Denmark, right? And I was on the train, and Scorpion was coming out that week, and just like there's like a stack of newspapers, right? And I don't know Danish. I couldn't read a single word on that page, right?
But you knew
on the
who it
magazine,
was,
Drake's face took up, I swear to God, like 70% of the front page of that magazine. I don't know if it was a local magazine. I don't know if it was a national magazine. I was like, God damn. I was like, it's like, like I don't know how big the town was, but Denmark is not a very big country. So I was like, dude, I'm like, God damn, Drake is that famous?
Yeah.
That he's like the biggest topic on that newspaper for that week or that day or whatever.
Do you bring that up to say, like, when you're that much of a global icon and you have that much of a voice, that you should be projecting it to champion certain issues?
That's probably why he doesn't, because he has that, like, the moment Drake talks about Black issues,
alienating.
It's just people around the world just like, man, he's an E for everyone rapper.
Right.
He's an E for everyone artist. He kind of just is like stays away from that. He's probably his team and his management, and he probably just doesn't care. I think it's a combination of all those things, really.
It could be because he does consider himself a black man, but that is an interesting point though, because some people would argue, even though you're an E for Everyone artist, well, you still have a loud voice. So you should be okay with standing on the right side of history and standing for the proper issues. And the people that don't ride with you on those issues, you should be willing to lose those people, lose them as fans. And that's a good argument too. You know, I'm kind of convincing myself otherwise, because what I just said, like I don't really think like Tyler the Creator has spoken about this. Like there's a lot of artists that have spoken about this too, but like I kind of do side with some of them when they say like that's not my responsibility. Like you shouldn't be looking to me, like how Charles Barkley said like way back, like I'm not a role model. Like,
and why are we
I play
looking at
basketball
celebrities anyway? I see a lot of
why
people pose this
you.
question is like, why are we looking to celebrities to be spokespersons of black, you know?
Well, I think it's for that very reason. It's because they are celebrities. Because people are going to listen to them.
Well, that's true. People are going to listen to them, right? But like a lot of these dudes are not qualified to speak on any of these things. A lot of these dudes are coons too. They get so lost in the money they forget they're a black man. They forget what legacy of America, and they don't care.
I don't think that like, just because I think it's for that very reason that you're a celebrity, that people look to you, because you already know that you have a lot of people looking up to you and are going to be moved by you. Like we weren't going to talk about it. I wasn't going to bring it up, but this is like, it fits too perfectly. The country singer Jason Aldean, who has that song, he just released that music video for called Try That in a Small Town.
Right. And
he invigorated an entire political base based off of the message of that song, right? So when you know you have that type of power and that type of sway, you can really sway minds. It kind of is like, why aren't you using that power for good? You know?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like
I see what you're saying.
I kind of agree with it, but it's not really your place.
His fan base. Like I don't know too much about that guy, but I've been seeing a little rumblings before I got on. People talking about it. People are talking about, is this the new right wing anthem? Like the dude's probably. I don't know much about white country music, but
neither do I.
I can tell from how they treated Lil Nas X. It seems like a very racist genre. You're not alienating anybody. In fact, you're probably invigorating them.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Most of your fan base are probably racist, right wing, small town, hick type people. Like,
so there's black people out here that are looking at black artists like a Jay-Z, like a Drake, like a Lil Wayne, right? Because Lil Wayne has some problems of the things that he said in the past about police brutality and stuff like that. Remember those issues when he was talking about how like he has a really great relationship with cops and stuff like that, so he's not going to backtalk them, or not backtalk them, but like he's not going to speak down on them and denounce them. But black people are looking for artists and celebrities to speak on our issues and speak for us. And, you know, some of them do it, some of them don't. I think it's their decision. Like I said, they're not politicians. So I guess it goes both ways.
I just think Drake has transcended the culture. That's why. When you look at
in
that guy.
Which way do you mean that? Like in a negative way?
Not necessarily
because he considers himself black.
It's literally me just saying the same thing as he's an E for Everyone rapper. He's a pop star more than anything.